technology run the risk of diluting the HR role? I think yes, it is. We've heard about it. People want to get away from conversations and kind of use WhatsApp messages or text messaging or email messaging. At one level, it could dilute the people touch. We heard our opening session this morning, which is very real, because at one level, how do you reach out to larger and larger organizations? It's clearly an enabler on that front, right? So while there is a one-on-one immediate intimacy that gets diluted, you are reaching out to larger pools of people. You are straddling generations. You are embracing the young workforce who's coming straight from campus and joining you, who's so familiar with the social media world. And as organizations, and we embrace it, your ability to pull those people into the organization is much higher. So there clearly are positives, but we really need to be careful when one looks at technology. You cannot take your eyes off why the technology and why are we adopting that technology. Let's not allow technology to overtake us in this. We cannot lose sight of what is the purpose that technology is serving, because it has to work for the business, for the people. It has to come together seamlessly. So if we run the risk of losing sight of why are we adopting this technology, we run the risk of working like robots. Over the course of the sessions we've heard, I mean, it's mind-boggling the number of applications. When I've sat in part of, thanks to People Matters, got exposed to so many new emerging, evolving technologies, some wonderful ideas there. But my personal view is, let's not forget, how do you measure success of a technology product, guys? Who measures success? It's not a trick question. Customers, people. People will and will always be at the heart of it. Technology cannot dilute the human focus, not unless we allow it to. So it is in our hands to understand why we are adopting a certain technology, to make sure that it is meaningfully adopted and embraced every stage of that process. I mean, we have spoken about talent acquisition, the various channels available today to us. We've touched upon LinkedIn so many times today, and we all look at it, right? The various avenues for us to go and look at what are those talent pools out there, what are the skills out there. In today's networked world, it is phenomenal when you look at your access to understand talent pools, where they sit, and how interested they are also. You can very quickly gauge some of that. But end of the day, and when I kind of step back to saying about the human touch, we speak of a lot of video recruitment products to look at video-based, remote-based recruitment processes. There are behavioral online tools and fantastic products. But how often do we stop and ask some of these people joining an organization, if you were to understand what is that individual's purpose to want to join your organization? Why are they joining you? To me, that's a very critical personal touch which quite often we forget. CVs and resumes we see have career objective pasted right up there, and quite often you'll find the longest words strung together in a sentence that sounds difficult to actually interpret. But if you simplify and you just ask the person, but why us? There are a whole host of companies, whole host of organizations. Why us? Why would you like to be part of this organization? I honestly believe if people think that through, you will actually have the right talented. But for which you need to think through to say what kind of people do you want to attract. And to me, that is a personal touch. So to me, the personal touch when you're looking to recruit, you're looking to attract talent, is absolutely critical. If I move on and if I look at employee engagement, again, phenomenal number of products, and there are a long list of things you can do. But at the core of it, if you do not figure out what is going to engage the different pools of talent, and again, this differs. This is not a one-size-fits-all approach. What engages individuals could vary. So if we again don't get to the heart of it, a tool will remain a tool. Like I said, employee engagement, fantastic avenues. So the magic of what technology allows us today is really great. But like I'm trying to highlight, alongside, if we don't get the human component, that H factor, if I may call it that, right, we're going to see a huge disconnect. I'm going to touch upon one more topic which I think is again phenomenal, and I find it quite amazing when I look at where the world of L&D and learning and development is going to. When I look at very interesting solutions around gamification. And like we will all realize, if you reflect on what's driving this innovation, it is nothing but analyzing behavior patterns. Analyzing the fact that youngsters have a limited attention span. They're excited with the game theory. They get excited with something that's going to teach them in a more interesting way. So that to me is a really good example of how we are taking technology and using it to our advantage. But is that going to do it by itself? You could have these wonderful modules running, but to me the success in a very successful L&D program is when you actually manage to move from the push to the pull factor. When you manage to connect with individuals to understand that when they are working with you for a larger purpose, it's in their interest to learn. It's in their interest to grow. This is not something that the organization is demanding of them. If they learn and they grow with the organization, everyone benefits. The organization grows, they stand to win as well. So are we keeping track of that? Are we rolling out tools and solutions but losing sight of where we are taking the organization to? So those were just a few thoughts I wanted to share because, like I said, yes, the age of HR is here. It is here and now, but like I said, I also believe it's going to merge into the business very quickly. There is, in my mind, no reason why business technology needs to be separate and siloed and distinct from HR technology. We are all working for the common purpose of where the organization wants to get to. HR is that core enabler. We are like the heart that feels the pulse of the organization. How do we make sure that we have the adrenaline pumping through this organization, taking it to where it wants to be? And in that context, there couldn't be a better enabler than technology in today's day and age. So we have this magic at our hands, but we need to choose to use it wisely and adopt it in the best way that makes sense for the organization. The organization maturity and readiness is critical for this to happen. Thank you so much.